Central Illinois is the CI in CI Living.
Well, if you are suffering from seasonal allergies, your forever friends may be suffering as well.
Joining us from the University of Illinois Veterinary Teaching Hospital, we have Dr. Bailey Brame here, as well as her dog, Java. So welcome to both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Java is an allergy sufferer, I hear.
Yes, he has both food and environmental allergies.
Oh, wow.
I also have a cat at home with allergies, but I didn't think he would handle the studio environment very well.
Okay, how did you find this out? How did you realize that you're, like, obviously they can't say, hey, I have sniffles today.
Yeah.
How did you find this out?
Sure, that's a great question. I think one kind of reason that it may go unrecognized in pets is that we commonly think of allergies as causing sniffles in people, whereas in dogs it's more commonly going to be associated with their skin. So we can see any kind of itchiness, redness, inflammation, and a lot of times skin and ear infections as well.
So how do you treat allergies? I know for me it's like I got to pop my Zyrtec every night or get some allergy shots or something like that. What about Java here? How do you help him?
So with Java, we're pretty lucky that we can manage him mostly with topical treatments to manage skin and ear infections.
He's going to go say hi to Matthew over there.
So that works out well for us. But for other pets, we might need other strategies. So my cat actually is on Allergy Shots. And although we would love it if antihistamines worked well for our pets, unfortunately, they just don't seem to do the trick.
So don't be giving them a Benadryl or anything like that.
Well, if your veterinarian recommends it, it's worth a try, but it only works in about 20 to 25% of dogs and cats. So if you have a dog that does respond, great, you're one of the lucky ones.
Oh, okay.
So I definitely feel like my dog has been just like looking at me like, help me. But I don't know how to help. But I definitely think, is there certain places that they should be itching that indicates allergies versus they're just scratching?
Well, that's a good question. I think it can be difficult to parse out sometimes because every breed has a little bit of a different typical distribution. The most common places that a dog or a cat might be itchy would be the paws, the ears, their armpits, their groin areas, and also kind of around the mouth or the butt.
And you also said ear infections, maybe an indication. Okay, well, my dog has a lot of ear infections.
How do you know?
Because she always itches at her ears, and then I go have it checked, and then it's an infection, and it's like, gosh, she must have allergies or something that's making her susceptible.
So. Yeah.
Well, this is sad. Okay, so I'm learning how I can help.
There's hope.
Okay.
Definitely hope. For
okay.
Sure.
Okay. I think we have some pictures here. Hopefully we can pull up of the cats and dogs and some examples of what to be on the lookout for. What are we seeing here? The eyes?
So here, actually, we have a bulldog, and there is some redness going down underneath the facial folds. So in any kind of bulldogs, this is an English bulldog, but also Frenchies, Boston Terriers, pugs, you know, they have those facial folds. And so one of the common signs of allergies in those breeds is that they actually get redness and sometimes even some inflammation or moist area between the facial folds.
Or in the paws, like you were mentioning.
Paws, yeah, exactly. So
is that from just like walking in the grass, where they may have like a grass allergy?
Well, we do think that some of it is from, you know, the exposure. So here's another dog with actually yeast infection of the paws. And so we do think some of it is direct, you know, physical contact with the allergens, but sometimes they can be, you know, contacted elsewhere and still have the allergy show up in a different location.
Okay, really quickly, how do you tell if it's going to be like an environmental allergy versus like a food allergy?
That's also a great question.
Sorry, we don't have enough time with Dr. Brame.
I have my notes.
There's a few things that can be helpful. First is recognizing patterns. So if you notice that your dog is developing these ear infections at the same time every year, year after year, but the rest of the year is doing great, then that might be more supportive of an environmental allergy like with pollens.
Okay.
If your pet is allergic year-round, though, you may have to do what's called a food trial, where you actually put them on a special diet, which Java has to eat because of his food allergies. Okay. And they remain very strictly on that food, and you see whether that keeps their symptoms at bay.
Oh, gosh. Good luck, Cozy.
A lot to take in there, but allergy testing to get those allergy shots, that's what that would look like, so we could really narrow it down.
Exactly. So once you've figured out that a pet does have environmental allergies, then allergy shots or allergy vaccines are a great way to try to gradually retrain the immune system not to overreact when it's exposed to those allergens in the future. So the picture that we just saw was an allergy test in a dog where we actually inject small amounts of allergens to see whether there is a reaction to each individual allergen, whether it be a pollen or a dust mite or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we formulate an individualized therapy for that pet.
Wow. I've learned so much in this short bit of time. I could ask so many more questions.
Just like us.
I know.
Suffering from allergies.
So
if you want
sad.
to learn more about the University of Illinois Veterinary Teaching Hospital, we'll have all that information on how you can connect with Dr. Brame here at CILiving.tv.